What's going on, guys? I recently run across an old digital camera I had. It's laying on the cabinet over there. And it had a bunch of pictures on it when I was rebuilding my house. And I want to share that with you. Some of these pictures, you will be shocked and amazed why anybody would want to redo a house like this. I bought this house and I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but once I bought it and got started, there wasn't but one thing to do, and that's finish it. And the pictures, after I got to a certain point, I guess I quit taking pictures, or I think I got a smartphone around that time, and started taking pictures on it. And I'm not sure what happened to those pictures. I think they got deleted or something. I'm not sure. So I only have a portion of the pictures. But it shows I have the pictures from the start, when I started on it, all the way up until I had the floor back in and was rebuilding the walls inside. But I'll let you take a look at that, and then I'll show you the finished product.
Guys, if you look right here, you'll see the termite trails on the exterior siding. They had it run all the way to the ground for skirting as well, which allowed the termites to get in there. All that was cut out. A new 6x6 beam was put in there. The house was jacked up about a foot, and a termite cap was put on to help prevent that from happening again. That bathtub there is where the dining room is now. That to the right over there is where my computer is now. That front door right there that's in this pic is where my TV is now. This is where we tore all the end of the house out, where the utility room is at, all the way back to the kitchen. See right here, we're putting a new beam under the wall and lining it up, leveling it with a laser, as well as on the front there. You see the red line, laser line. We tore the rafters out here, installed all new rafters, or ceiling joists rather, not rafters. This was working on it at night. It done got dark. Still working. The tractor completely inside the house. Actually graded all the dirt back out and started over with new cinder blocks and piers and everything, and rebuilt the whole inside of the floor with all brand new lumber.
Alright, guys, this is the arches that was in the video you seen building towards the end of it. That's the dining room. This is the living room in here, and that big archway. This was actually the first wall that I started building when I started redoing it. The whole floor was totally out of here, and I'll show you. That was the front door that was boarded up in one of the pictures. There was a bathtub right there where that recliner's at. You can see it in the picture.
Where I do my computer work over here, there was actually, I think the kitchen sink was actually right there, and then the cabinets come out. And this was just a little walk-through doorway. This was a wall. So I totally tore all this out, all the rafters. You can see the whole floor. The kitchen area right here is actually in one of the pictures where the ruts were. In the pictures that where I've been driving my tractor in here, we took the wall out back there where the water heater's at. That's where the water manifold is in one of the pictures. Right there in that plastic. But this whole wall here, this back door in the utility room, was all taken out, this whole back wall, all the way across the house. And I started driving the tractor in here and ripping out the floor joists and everything. Everything you see in the pictures. This was 2 years of my life, over 2 years of my life doing this. Never, never, never again will I try to do this. I didn't know what I was getting into. The house was cheap. I bought it. I spent as much money fixing it up as I could have bought a new double wide floor and had it sit right here. But it's done now, so it doesn't matter. The tractor in those pictures, I no longer have. I wish I did. I got in a bind. I had to sell it with all the money I had to borrow on building this house or rebuilding this house. It cost way more than I thought it was going to. And I bought that tractor in an auction and on eBay, and I paid like $5,000 for it. It had caught on fire, or somebody set it on fire, whichever, and insurance paid it off, and all the wires were gone on it. It was a rust bucket. I mean, I had to totally strip it down. Spent about a year doing that. Totally stripped it down, repainted everything, made it run again, put all new wiring harness on it. Probably spent $5,000 in parts getting it running, so I had about $10,000 in it, which is not a bad deal for a 65 horse four-wheel drive tractor. It's 2004 model, and this was in 2000. I want to say 2009, 2010 maybe, that I did this. But I kept it for about 3 years, and like I say, I just had to sell it, and I hate that I had to sell it, but you know, it is what it is. I'll get another one, and I guess a better one at some point. It'll probably be $40,000 now, because that's about what those are going for now, time you finance them and pay tax and everything on it. But anyway, I thought you guys would enjoy this. I know Steve Robb was working on his camp up there and was showing that. And man, I don't want any part of trying to rebuild anything like that again. This thing was horrible. And when I got into it and realized, I mean, there was only one thing to do, and that was just totally strip everything out. And I almost would have been as well, because I put all new ceiling joists in. The only thing that's old is the rafters and the exterior wall studs. Everything else is brand new. The only reason I didn't do that was because, well, the exterior siding. They had plywood siding on it, and it was still good. And some of it were tongue and groove, the old tongue and groove 1x6s with plywood over the top of it. And I left that, and I put vinyl siding over the top of it. But that's the only thing that was reused. I didn't redo all that, because if I would have redone that would have been completely tearing the house down and starting over, which would have been a whole bunch of permits and everything with that nature. But I would have been better to have done that and bought a double wide and put here. But I didn't know that at the time. So live and learn, and don't buy a house in this bad a shape and try to fix it up, because it's a whole lot of work, and I'll never do it again. So anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. Talk to you next time.